Good evening. This is September 22nd, 2019. I guess I'm just doing another video like I always do on my capella, not a script written for it or um no special, you know, editing or anything like that. If you do hear the thunder in the background, that's not real rain. It's just something I found on YouTube, that I could use, I guess, for the background as I speak. This chair, it was here when I moved into this place. It was like the place I'm renting. The owner told me, "You want me to remove that?" I said, "No, that's the Matrix chair, you know? And that's what I've been using now to record these videos. In a way, you know, uh, it's a little syn- you know synchronistic, as I guess they call it, of Morpheus and Neo, talking about the Matrix and the nature of the reality in which they live. So there is like I explained that I resonate with the explanation that Mark Passio made about the Matrix. This is a world in which the our conduct has been uh, creating this hell. Although there are dark influences, spiritual in the spiritual realm, ultimately we allowed it to happen. And even though those influences are still in action, our inaction in the proper way, in the right way, is uh, creating this other reality that we live in. So we live in the matrix of control of some people that have become close to those either to those dark entities or to what they propose we should do, which is lying, yeah, lying, deception, all that for the rest of humanity, and to blind us from the realization that we have to conduct our lives in a um, moral, ethical way in order to better our existence in this physical plane or this physical realm. I often ask people if they believe in God, or what do they believe in. They don't, sometimes they have religion, they don't really think about it because this is a world of distractions. We're all distracted with so many things. So we're not paying attention to what really matters. And even the people who supposedly guiding us towards uh, good and end up like in my case, I was disillusioned with the whole religious thing, and then that's why I made that mistake of using the Ouija board, as I explained before. And I recently found my friend also synchronistically last week. Was it last? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, last week. Today's Sunday. So it was last Thursday. Yeah, I went and visited the place, his workplace. I didn't know he was working there. He came back from Nicaragua for just a week. Just he came back just 1 week before that, and I uh, I was surprised that I found him and chat a little bit. And I mentioned that I've been making these videos, and I mentioned our experience with the thing, with the Ouija board. And you should have seen his face. He was like, "Oh my god." He it's like I've being from where I'm from Nicaragua, and then we went through wars and stuff like that. If you ever met anybody who's been in real combat that has seen the horrors of war, and then you mention something that reminds them of the actual being there, like something that was real there, like numbers, of the platoon number and all that, and they don't want to hear it. They're traumatized. They don't like it. They don't want. They wish they never lived that. So that's the way I felt about him. Like he said, he mentioned some things. He was tough enough to mention a few things about it that he also went through, and his friends went through. I didn't know he lived there. I know we went there. I was there because of him, because he was my friend. But I don't remember exactly if he was living there or what, because he lived with his mom, but I guess he was there for a while. And all the stuff that went on in there, he explained to me. Maybe in the future, I'll get him to make a video with me, and so he can hear right out of the horse's mouth, you know. So these things do exist. So don't shrug it off. Don't say, "Oh, it's a spiritual realm." The people make stuff up. Yeah, people make stuff up, but the wrong people. You giving credit to people who don't deserve it, and taking the credit out of people who do deserve the credit. So, um, you know, like I say to people, "Do you believe in the spiritual realm?" And I gave the example of the girl that I called, and she picked up the phone. And then I told her, "Why you pick up the phone? You didn't see the phone call arriving to your phone. If you say you don't believe in what you don't see, how come you didn't see a phone call arriving to your phone and then you still picked it up?" And just like that, all around us right now, if I have a television set, pick up the control and push the button, and I start changing channels. All the channels are here right now, you know. And if I have uh, everybody around me here in Miami, they have a phone number, or around the country, around the world. I press just those specific numbers and I call them. Well, maybe long distance charges and all that, but whatever. Here locally and nationally, I have access to all those phone numbers. So it's just a matter of entering that code and that frequency in order to tap into that. So it's the same way with us here and the physical realm. Like I explained, we're trapped. We're souls trapped in this physical body. This is our television. This is the only way we can get in tune with this physical realm. So we're in this physical realm. Okay, there are spiritual realms. Those entities that we don't see, they exist here in the air, in the present. You know, God is outside of that. God doesn't have to be here. God is almighty. He's all powerful. We're trapped in this frequency. He's not. God is outside. So he can see all of this from another angle. So he can look at it from the start all the way to the end. He's been here. He he granted us free will, so we can do whatever we decide to do. We're That's optional. It's up to us. You know, but still, everything already happened for him. We're trapped in this, so it's our decision. We have choice whether to resonate with him or resonate with the sacrifice and everything he did here, so that we could have a chance to transcend this matrix. But we live in the matrix created by the dark forces and ourselves to be controlled in this physical realm. But outside of this, there's another matrix, which is this uh, linear uh, frequency in which we live. So our bodies, which are uh, um, physical, in this realm and this frequency, they they have to move forward. We can't go back in time. We can't go forward in time. As we're moving forward slowly at a gradual pace, normally, like we're moving right now. I can see the seconds moving forward. I can fast forward. I can fast forward, fast rewind, stop it. You know, everything moves because God made it. We can't make a grain of sand, like I said many times. All humanity together, we can't create anything out of nowhere. Okay, I don't know if I retold this joke. What's his name? Pastor Kent Hovind, which you should pay attention to. He's funny and he's really smart. And he made a joke. So he said that a man once went and told God, "I can make man," and God said, "Oh, really? You can make man? That's it. Let me see." So the man grabbed a bunch of mud and started making, God said, you can't use my mud, so it's that simple. We can't make anything. So we have this huge egos, like we the infection of the devil. We wanted he wanted to be God, and he us infected us with the same uh, uh, you know craziness of that he had. This just because you're really smart in this physical realm or really beautiful or whatever. Even him, who is you know an entity that it's um, invisible to us, so he's a spiritual entity. And but I think he's trapped. I think he's trapped in this also, in this um, timeline. Like he was I'm not sure about this. This is not actually something that I'm getting out of the Bible. I might be wrong, but he's probably trapped in this linear also timeline of us. So he has no choice but to continue going forward in what he does, and he already knows he's doomed. So he might as well just do as much harm as he can, I guess, because he knows God knows the what's coming and what we're gonna what 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 the end is. It's in the book. So um, we either ignore it, say, that's just religion, that's just, like I said many times, I keep saying the same thing over and over. You throw away the baby with the bathwater, because you see all the people using the resonance you have with the word of God and taking it and using it for their own advantage in life, in this physical realm. But that's not it. You have to look deeper. You don't have to be like somebody else. You have to, like I said, I believe in God, believe in Jesus Christ and the sacrifice that he made. There is one little video that I it's a Christmas story from, what's his name right now? Paul Harvey. Is the birds, the man and the birds, or something like that? I don't know. It gives a pretty cool example of how God, why God did what He did. Because we have to try to make us understand. You know, because it's we don't get God really. So had to become one of us in order to understand, for us to understand better, His nature. So I guess I don't I spoke fast this time, I guess, because I see this not I haven't been really here for a long time, but yeah, I was talking to another man today. I said, what do you believe in God, this and that? He said, yeah, yeah, like I'm a Catholic and I believe in the Virgin. And, in Cuba we have this Virgin. And I'm like, okay, but do you believe there's something else that exists now? And, even though you don't see it, like I said, TV channels, radio stations, telephone numbers, everything is right here, right now. The fact that you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We have this how do you call it? Device, just want to call it that, is this physical, you know body. It's a biological device for us to connect with the realm in which we live. But that doesn't mean that is all that exists. The fact that you don't see it doesn't mean anything. It just means you don't see it because you're blind. Do blind people think that there's nothing out there just because they can't see it? No, that's the way we have to think about where we live. There's a lot more going on than what we can just perceive with our eyes. So that's all for now. I guess I'll see you soon again. God bless you. Have a good night.